I think it should be against the law for people with big noses to wear beanie hats. Rob Burgess is about the only person I think who can get away with it, and he's dashingly handsome, unlike me, who fell out of the ugly tree and hit every branch on the way down. Winter clothing is all about layers. It's all about trapping air. Basically, I've got the Polar Combats on as my base layer on the bottom. No thermals on yet because it just hasn't got cold enough yet, and I'll reserve those. I'll keep them with me in like a stuff sack, like a thermal layer, long johns and the long sleeve top, which is really, really long on purpose, so it tucks in, keeps your back warm. But I've not needed it in this session, to be honest. I put it on when I get into the swim. That's the thing a lot of people do wrong. They start their session, they push their barra absolutely togged up to the eyeballs with clothes, and then they sweat, and when they cool down, when they finish setting up, they get cold. So it's better to start your session with the minimum layers on you can, and I start off on the top half. I've got the same stuff that I wear in the summer, the long sleeve cool top for sun protection. I wear that because if that gets sweaty, I can take it off and put a fresh one on, so I don't get cold. So that's always my base layer, and then I'll have a heavyweight hoodie in the winter over the top of that, and then either a puffer jacket, which you've seen me wearing earlier in the session if it's really cold and not raining, or this waterproof jacket if it is raining. And when you buy a waterproof jacket, whatever one you get, it's important to try it on with all your winter gear on as well. And you might look a bit like an idiot done up like the Michelin Man in June if you're going to buy a jacket then, but you want to have one very thin jacket like this one, completely unlined, tape seams so it's 100% waterproof, breathable as well, but that wants to fit over the top of all of your other winter clothing. Then basically that one waterproof jacket, and in this case waterproof trousers, will fit over everything 12 months of the year. And then you just layer up depending on how cold it is. Like I say, if it gets really freezing, then I'll swap from the Polar Combats to the new Polar Salopettes, which are exactly the same material, water resistant, not waterproof, because your inside layers underneath this waterproof thing is all about, like I say, trapping air, because that's what keeps you warm. So they don't need to be waterproof, and you can sleep in them. I've been sleeping in them this session on them cold nights, and because they're Salopettes, they keep your lower back warm where your kidneys are, and that really makes a big difference. And then there's a couple of other bits into it. Obviously, keeping your feet warm is paramount. We all know what cold feet feels like, and what I do now with my walking boots is I buy them 2 sizes too big. So again, I go into the shop and I've got my waterproof socks on as a base layer, and then I've got my merino socks on above that, which might seem like it's the wrong way round, but I want to keep my feet dry at all times. So the waterproof ones go at the bottom, so the inside of those against your skin is always dry, and then they sort of start as the base layer, and I only put the merino socks on once I've stopped setting up and I've become, you know, sort of less active, then put the warm socks on as well, and then I'll take the merinos off when I get into bed, because they can end up being too warm. And then the last bit is the head end. A lot of your body heat is lost through your head, and you see obviously we've had rain this morning. I've got the waterproof cap on now, but this is a new version that's fleece lined for the winter, so it's not 100% waterproof, water resistant, it's not tape seamed, but when you're out casting and spomming and playing fish and that in the rain, it's as good a protection as you're going to get, and it's very, very warm. And then I haven't got one on at the moment, but round your neck we do an oversized beanie for the Elliot Greys and all the cool dudes amongst you. I can't wear it like that, I look like a complete bellend, but your Gaz Farehams and all them sort of people wear them sort of hats and look super cool in them, but I wear it basically as a scarf, because the top of it opens up, it's sort of twisted, you can get it over your head, get it round your neck and wear it as a scarf, and that is a game changer. This is an absolutely bionic common. Yeah, I've worn them a hell of a lot. You've seen me on Masterclass before in the spring wearing them. I've always got it in the bag just in case. And then if you do get super cold, then obviously the beanie hats, you know, your woolen hats are your sort of last line of defence against the cold. I try not to wear them. I think it should be against the law for people with big noses to wear beanie hats. Rob Burgess is about the only person I think who can get away with it, and he's dashingly handsome, unlike me, who fell out of the ugly tree and hit every branch on the way down. But yeah, like I say, it's all about regulating your body heat with the layers that you've got on, trapping air and staying dry.